Come get your money. Pay Lake Carp Fishing with Donald Barrow. Hi guys, this is Donald Barrow. We're here in North Carolina. Today I'm going to talk about Pay Lake, packing your bait, your pack bait, onto a Pay Lake setup on a hook that has a pickup on it. This is a typical Pay Lake setup. Weight, it's a new wicketed weight, and it's awesome. I fish for wicketed, and you might say, well, he's going to say that, but this is a combination of an oval weight, kind of short, stout, and 1 ounce, and a flat weight that a lot of people fish with. It's called a no-roll sinker, and both have their advantages, and they combine the advantage, and I'm real impressed with these. We put a little bead between the knot on the swivel and the weight, so that the weight doesn't bounce against the knot connecting the terminal tackle onto the swivel. The leaders, this one was tied by, I actually have the bag, Mud Pigs, Thomas Bailey. They do a good job if you're looking for leaders. Wicketed also sells. I think Thomas ties for Wicketed, so you can order off one page or order direct with him. I pick them up at some Pay Lakes. I know Pops has them. Typical setup, 2 hooks. Some lakes are going to 1 hooks. I support that. I use 2 hooks if it's allowed. 1 hook I'm fine with. If you fun fish with 1 hook. It's a long drive if you're fishing by yourself and this ends up in your thumb to the hospital to get it out. You can get it out yourself, but if you really bury it deep, you gotta go to the hospital. You're gonna have blood everywhere. I know. I know by bad experience. Okay, so the deal is we want to put the pack bait on the hook, the baited hook. I'm using a little rubber bead. I've had good luck using rubber beads. If not for anything, if I'm using multiple pickups, i.e. 2 different flavors, and I want to know which one the fish take, I remember which one I pack on. I pack on this little rubber beaded one. It's a habit, but it works for me. But here we go. The most important thing is learning how to pack your bait. You can make the best bait in the world, or you can make crappy bait. Crappy, or not so great bait, drying out. All bait can dry out when you fish 8-hour sessions, hot sun, cold, wind, rain. It's all the elements in a row. So knowing how your best effort, the best way, in my opinion, and there are other ways to do this. Lots of veterans who have been fishing for 40 years might look at this and say, no way, do it my way. But this way, I see a lot of people do it, and maybe not exactly the way I do it, but believe me, I was horrible at it. I didn't have anybody tell me at first. A couple of my first fishing trips, I ended up just throwing pickups because I couldn't get the bait to stick on. Or I was just throwing it like 3 feet out because that's as long as the bait would stick on, and it was flying off when I dropped it in the water. Yeah, it was a disaster. And I went from there to fairly confident at doing it, competent at doing it. So I wanted to show you how I do it. Again, it's not the only way, but it's pretty damn practical. The first thing I like to do is just get a handful of bait. Even that's debatable. There are some guys, I guess, have bigger hands, but no, they'll take a ball that's the size of, close to the size of a softball or a full-size baseball, and they'll pack it on their hook. And I'm not saying that's good or bad. It's just their style. Other guys, and I have a partner, Tom, who does this, fishing partner, who he throws it's smaller than a golf ball, just about the size of a golf ball. And I've seen him win plenty. I've seen the guys throw in big softball size baits, packed, and they work. I'm a little in between, a little bigger than a golf ball, not much. I'd be considered a medium small ball, I guess. The reason I throw that is the minute that I say, hey, I'm going to start throwing gigantic balls, is the minute that I'll run out of bait. You can go through a lot of bait. Plus, I can't tell the difference. I really can't. And I'm telling you that honestly. I could throw a giant ball, I could throw a real small, and they hit it. If they're there, they find it, they hit it. And it's the right flavor. And going back to this, the pack bait, there's a lot of different nuances, and a lot of baits can be difficult. Grits, when you start and you make a batch of grits, the first batch you throw all 5 of them out a country mile, and they pack great, and you throw it. Then the next time you go back, they're dry, so you got to add a little water, no big deal, you throw it. Third or fourth time, it can become a challenge. Chow can be that way too. Chow can be that all night long. Compounding the challenge is if you pack a ball of bait too tight, it doesn't break. And I've shown this in another video, and I'll probably demonstrate it here. You pack a ball and you throw it a mile, but an hour later when you wind it back in and that ball is still intact, you failed. You want your bait to break up. My perfect bait breaks up within 2 minutes. I know guys that they're happy with under 5, but as long as it breaks, that's the rule. You gotta, whatever you pack has to break. 2 techniques. You can add more breaker to your bait. Like if you're fishing grits, quick grits is the normal breaker. Chow, wheat bran is a normal breaker. Some people use soybean as a breaker, but wheat bran and quick grits are usually the 2 breakers people use to break that bait up quicker. The downside of using both is they're both horrible to pack. So the more you add a breaker, the more challenging it gets to pack. The other factor is how much water you use. Just about any bait, except some of my rice, you need to wet your hands. And when I say wet your hands, I said that wrong. You need to dampen your hands. You put your hand in and you just get the very base of your palm and your fingertips wet, damp, and then you pack your bait. If you get it too wet, it starts breaking down your bait. And like with chow, people call it locking up, is the bait will kind of mush together so much that it makes a nice dough ball, is what the slang term is, but it compresses, you pack it, it becomes a ball and it won't break no matter how much breaker you have in it. So you can over wet your bait. On the other hand, if you don't wet your bait enough, it will break. It will not throw, it'll break when you try to throw it. Okay, so here's what I'm here for. What I like to do when I pack my bait is I make it into a hamburger patty, essentially. It packs, I roll it, whatever you want to do, pack it into a ball, and then flatten it. Okay, once you flatten it, then you want to put the hook. And I'm not sure how good I'm going to be with the video, but what I do is I put my thumb right in the middle and make a channel. And that's doing 2 things. What that's really, the most important part of doing that is it's packing the inside of the ball. And I tell you that's important because I've packed plenty of baits and they were hard as a rock on the outside. I go to throw them and the hook just flies from the inside to the outside and the bait flies off. It doesn't work. And I'm like, what's going on? Well, it was all hard on the outside, but the inside was gooey, for lack of a term, loose. And so me putting my thumb in the middle of that channel tightens it up. And then the second part is just, it's science. No, it's, I put the hook at the bottom of my hand and the line out the top, and I control, squeeze it together. You know, that's huge, because the hook and the top of the line is straight. If you've got any kind of kink in there, when you throw, it'll be exploited and your bait will fly apart. So you do that. After I did that, I'm sure my hands aren't showing up real good. I don't know if I back up, but what I've done is made my bait. What you'll see me do, you'll see a lot of guys squeeze it side to side and roll it like this. I don't find that's that important. Sure, you want it firm all the way around, and you put your thumb in the bottom and squeeze it up. But the most important thing you do after that is you make sure that string, that your leader line is straight, and that you press it down, and you press it down good. The firmer you press that down, the more successful you'll be at casting it. Again, my hands are dry, so if I wet my hands, I improve, you know, the packing. It gets tighter, it gets easier. Again, you can ruin it. You can put too much, you can get your hands too wet, and it'll soften up, and then it'll fly apart too. So you don't want to do that, but just a little wetness. You'll know when it's right is the bait's not sticking to your hand. So when you're packing it, you're not like feeling it pull away when you pull your hand away. That's what I call the right way. Truth be known, I did this video. This is about my third attempt, but something always goes wrong. And I did this video, and I did this number. I started flinging it around. I flung it across the room. I didn't wet the bait. Yeah, see, if you can do that, you're good to know. You know you're going to be able to cast it. It's gonna fly. So that's how you pack a bait. Very important you learn. We're going to break it down. I've got some water here. I was going to use a fish tank, but no time like the present. Every time I throw, I give it a little lucky pat at the top just to hope and say, stay on while I throw it. One other thing I didn't demonstrate, when you're packing it, I like to slide the sinker down and put it on something. You don't want to pack it with the sinker swinging around. You want to set that part down so that that little micro pull isn't working against you. It's a little technique. My partner pointed it out, and it's something that I usually always do anyways, but he was quick to tell me, that's a key element. Okay, I'm gonna try to drop this in the water. I'll swing this camera around and see if we can, if we're successful. Okay, there's my bottle of water, and there's my cast going in. Bam. Okay, so first thing you notice when my ball hit the water is you saw the bubbling, and that put a smile on anybody's face, because when you see bubbling from your bait, you know it's breaking. I gotta say, I'm a little curious myself. I should have put a clock on this, but we'll be able to tell. I got a clock on the camera, so it's telling me how long it's taken to break. Truth of the matter, this rice is 3 months old, and it's 2 different batches. It's strawberry, so most likely it's strawberry chrome. I don't think it's red enough to be strawberry, sinful strawberry. I'm pretty sure it's one of my old bottles of strawberry chrome, old bag of rice. That rice could be 6 months old, the strawberry. And then the grape rice is, I think it's NC grape, or NC Concord grape. It's one of the wickedest grapes. You know what? No, I think it's what is it? Sunkist grape. It's one of the grapes. And bottom line, it's another 3 months old, and it's bubbling. You saw me on camera. I really packed it good. So we're going to wait here, and hopefully it doesn't make a liar out of me. Within 3-4 minutes, it's broken. Yep, I'm starting to see it fall apart. It's funny how rice works. It's like I was just almost ready to stop this video and say, take 2. I packed it too tight for the video. But all of a sudden I started seeing pieces starting to fall off. And that's kind of how wet rice breaks. All of a sudden it's one piece, and then all of a sudden it's like a house of cards. One piece breaks, and then all of a sudden it just explodes. Alright, I turned away. I shut it off because I ran out of things to say while I was waiting. I turned back around 30 seconds later. I mean, it's like my bait exploded. Mental note: if you're gonna do a video like that, use a bigger container, because obviously my flavoring is still working awesome. Because you can't see to the bottom because it's so full of flavor. But I pull these out, and there's my Pig Flipper electric banana pickups, and my Mud Pigs setup, all good, all laying on a pile of, maybe you can see it this way, of rice that just exploded. And bottom line is, if you're gonna pack a bait, here, quick camera flip to me. If you're gonna pack a bait, try my technique. If you're having trouble, if what you're doing is working great, keep at it. But what I just showed you is my preferred method, and I've been real successful doing it. Along with you pack that bait, and if you can cast it to the rope, and it breaks within a minute to 5 minutes, I think you're good to go. This bait, being almost 6 months old and me packing it like a maniac, it still broke. It took probably about 4 minutes. I got bored at 3 minutes, and I turned back around. So about 4 minutes, it was broken. It might even have been broken when I pulled away the first time. I should have pulled up and seen, because a little difference from some videos I've seen online. If you're using puffs or pops, they're going to float the hooks up. If you're using kicks, those will not float the hook up, and they will stay in the pile. And there are times when you want the bait and the pickup to float up and use a puff, and there are times, a lot of times I prefer to use kicks, and it stays in the pile. I know Joe Lutz with R&W and Ron have baits designed to keep that flavor centered in the pile, and they have baits that your flavor flows all over, pretty much in all the bait flavors. Carp slayers do it too. But what I'm saying, or what I'm expounding on, is know what your flavor does, and also, it's usually to your advantage to keep your bait in the pile. In fact, if the fish pulls your bait, if a fish runs into your line, usually you bring it in, because it's pulled that bait out of the pile. And I'm not saying you'll never catch a fish that way, but the odds go down quite a bit. So if you're having trouble, this video, I wish it was there when I started, because I had no idea what to do. I had good bait, I had good setups, I was ready to go. I thought I had everything figured out, except it looked like from videos, guys just grabbed the bait, put the bait in the middle and squeezed it and thrown it and it doesn't work that way. You really got to pack it like a hamburger, put that groove in there, and kind of make sure you think about it. You're packing the center of your bait so that it gets reinforced. That way, when you wrap it around your bait and squeeze it around your bait, you've got your bait's not going to fly apart on you, and that's what you shoot for. Again, please, hey, like and subscribe. That really means a lot. I'm really proud of the views that I've got on a couple of videos. I hope to keep it up, and thank you, everybody. See you fishing if you're fishing in North Carolina. Don't forget to say hi. I really enjoy meeting people. Thank you. Bye now.